Okay, I'm going to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakat Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach the Bible in 100% truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom to you. So this is going to be a real quick video today. As you can see on the screen, I have a screenshot of another video that I was watching. It was actually sent to me by someone. And you know, when you're trying to extract information from the mainstream media in the West, you have to understand that the information given to you is manipulated and tainted. It's pretty much constructed to give you a particular narrative. And so, for example, you know, one way to see that is, you know, you're looking at the events that are taking place in Ukraine, and it's very clear to look at Western mainstream media and see that they have a particular fall guy. You know, they have someone to blame for it, and then they use this person to sort of, if you like, to blame on then making other things occur and change. You know, there's a lot of confusion going on. Ultimately, the world is, you know, the agendas that are pushed in all four corners of the earth are set by the banking elites, and in between us and them, there are various governments, various puppet leaders, so on and so forth. And you know, I've gone into it before. For example, with Ukraine, the fact that, you know, you're looking at the Western mainstream media, and they're pretty much making out the fact that as if Vladimir Putin, just woke up one day and decided, you know, today's a day to invade Ukraine, let's just go for it. So they pretty much try to give you that kind of idea and understanding, and then, you know, from then on, they create this narrative, and they use him as the guy to blame. But I've explained that particular situation with Ukraine and Russia has been going on for many years, and it's not a surprise that it's got to this particular point. But I've also explained that particular situation, you know, these world leaders are more friendly with each other than you realize. You know, so yet again, in the media, they create a narrative that it's, you know, one nation versus another nation. But the one similar problem or issue or concern that these world leaders have with each other, you know, by the instructions that they've been given to follow a particular agenda, you know, their biggest common issue is to control the masses of people, the population. So with that, they use the mainstream media to create the narrative and influence you, while they have their own agenda in the background. So it looks like in the media, you know, a lot of these world leaders don't get on, but really and truly, a lot of them do get on, and they will meet each other more regularly than they let off in the media. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes, a lot of things happening, you know, in reality, things that are big things that affect this world, and they won't show you in the mainstream media. And this particular article, or this video that I've got here in the background, does exactly the opposite of what the mainstream media do, which is show you what's actually happening. And there is an up and coming war, if you like, a mini war building. You know, we have World War III building. According to the scriptures, we can see things going on, and we're in a time where there are wars and rumors of wars, which are going to precede World War III. So this video that I'm going to leave a link in the description box for this video. It's about 15 minutes long, and this man explains, he goes into the up and coming war with China and Taiwan, and how it's going to come about, and, you know, the steps that are being put in place at the minute in order to bring about that mini war. And so that's what this particular video goes into. And then from there, it develops into certain information about, you know, Russia, Ukraine. And then this guy goes on to talk about the up and coming world economic collapse. So he mentions a couple of things. I mean, he doesn't talk from a biblical point of view at all. He doesn't mention them at all. I believe he's more of a financial analyst, if you like, than anything else. And he's given you a rundown of also, not just a physical war to take place, but a economic war, which is also taking place. He's given out a lot of information, and I watched it, I can understand it, but I could be here for about an hour trying to explain everything he said. So rather than do that, it's probably a lot easier if you click the link in the description box and see what he has to say for himself. Like I say, it's only about 15 minutes long, and he goes into some good information which you're not going to get given in the mainstream media. And he also, one thing I want to point out when you're watching this particular video regarding the subject of Revelation 13 and 16 on down, MOTB, I've mentioned before on that particular subject that your citizenship is going to be a major factor in the implementation of the MOTB, because the minute you have a citizenship and you're owed particular rights through the fact that you're in contract with the government, through the fact that you have a birth certificate. When you were born, you were given a birth certificate, and your parents signed that, and that put you into the system. And that's I believe that's an adhesion contract. And so once you're in the system is providing for you certain things like the pavement, the street lights, so on and so forth. And so now you're a citizen of this particular system, and the fact that you have to go to work and pay taxes is to repay the things that your citizenship are giving you, things like the pavement and the road and the lights. So that's how they get you into contract from the day that you're born, and you're part of that contract. That's why when you go to work, you now are due to pay them taxes. And so that citizenship is a very important thing at the minute for that's why you are able to get certain facilities in life. And when they switch to the MOTB, the digitization of things, they're going to make your citizenship a digital thing. So if you don't accept that digital thing, you're going to lose out on certain rights in society. So I've mentioned that before, and this video, this guy again, he mentions the fact of citizenship, and he mentions how Biden is currently using that citizenship of so-called American citizens that are living and working in China against them in order to manipulate them. So it's an important thing to note, because what Biden's doing, he's pulled a particular policy, which this is going to be explained in this video. He's pulled up a particular policy and stated to he made a statement pretty much to all the citizens in China working for certain particular companies. He's given them a particular choice. And it's a bit like the choice you're going to get given come the time of the implementation of the MOTB. In order to keep your citizenship, you need to make this change. And if you don't, we're going to cut you out the circle, out the loop. So it's just something to note. Like I say, this guy doesn't talk about the MOTB, and this video, the information in it is not directly linked to the MOTB in that particular way that we would teach. However, he mentions that particular point of the citizenship, and it's a good thing to note in and remember that how it relates to the MOTB, how Biden is forcing that particular choice upon a certain group of people. So I hope it will be edifying. It's the link's in the description box, and I'll leave it right there. And until next time, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakat, Wadash, Shalom.